Dust swirled like angry ghosts across the cracked asphalt of Main Street in Dust Haven, Texas, as the two deputies closed in, their boots thudding heavy against the parched earth. Jake Harlan, sweat beading under his Stetson, stepped forward without a second thought, his broad shoulders blocking the path to the trembling stranger behind him, a young man with wide, haunted eyes that screamed for mercy in a town that offered none. "You touch him, you go through me first," Jake growled, his voice a low rumble that cut through the humid air like a Bowie knife, igniting a chain of events that would shatter his solitary life forever. The deputies, Burke and Ellis, thick-necked enforcers of Sheriff Harlan's iron-fisted rule, halted, their hands twitching toward holsters. Dust Haven wasn't just any speck on the map. It was a sun-baked relic of the Old West, where oil rigs loomed like skeletal sentinels, and the local gentry clung to Bibles and grudges with equal fervor. Jake knew that standing there, shielding this outsider whose rumpled shirt and city slicker boots marked him as trouble, was signing his own arrest warrant. But something in those pleading eyes, raw, unfiltered desperation, had hooked him deeper than any lasso. "Harlan, step aside," Deputy Burke snarled, his mustache quivering like a cornered rattler's tail. "This one's a drifter. Sheriff says he's stirring up. Unnatural business. We got reports." The word hung ugly in the air, laced with the town's unspoken venom toward anything that deviated from straight-laced, God-fearing normalcy. Jake's jaw tightened. He'd heard the whispers before, slurs tossed like feed to hogs at the feed store. But this felt personal, a line crossed in the red dirt of his own backyard. Behind him, the stranger, Alex Rivera, though Jake didn't know his name yet, pressed closer, his breath ragged against Jake's back. Alex had hitchhiked into Dust Haven 2 days ago, fleeing a fractured life in Austin where coming out had cost him his job, his family, and nearly his sanity. He'd only stopped for water at the diner when the stares turned to questions to accusations. Now, cornered like a fox in a henhouse, he clung to this cowboy shadow as if it were salvation itself. Jake didn't budge. Reports from who? Old Man Wilkins again, seeing sinners in his soup? A murmur rippled from the gathering crowd. Shopkeepers, ranch hands, the curious and the cruel peering from porches. Laughter edged the tension, but Jake's stance held firm, his calloused hands flexing at his sides. He'd spent 32 years breaking horses and mending fences on the Harlan spread, the same land his daddy had bled for before the cancer took him. Loyalty to family ran bone deep here, but so did a stubborn streak wider than the Rio Grande. Deputy Ellis spat tobacco juice into the dust. "Sheriff's orders, Jake. You know how it is. Town's got standards." He eyed Alex with a sneer that twisted his pockmarked face. "Boy like that don't belong. Brings the devil's work." The words landed like a gut punch, but Jake absorbed them, his mind racing. Standards. That's what they called it. The invisible walls that kept folks like him working dawn to dusk, head down, no questions. Jake had buried his own secrets deep. The way his gaze lingered too long on certain ranch hands, the dreams that woke him sweating in the dead of night. He'd chalked it up to loneliness, to the bottle he nursed on stormy evenings. But now, with Alex's warmth seeping through his shirt, those buried truths stirred like embers under ash. "Enough," Jake said, his voice steady as rained thunder. "He's under my protection. Take it up with the sheriff if you want blood." The deputies exchanged glances, weighing the folly of tangling with the Harlan name. Jake's uncle was the sheriff, after all, Elias Harlan, a bear of a man whose badge gleamed as bright as his temper. But family ties cut both ways in Dust Haven. Burke holstered his hand with a curse, backing off a step. "This ain't over, Harlan. Sheriff will hear about it." They melted into the crowd, leaving a wake of grumbled approvals and sidelong glares. Jake turned then, slowly, to face the man he'd just staked his reputation on. Alex looked up, his dark hair tousled, olive skin flushed under the relentless sun. Gratitude shone in his eyes, mingled with something sharper. Fear, yes, but also a spark of defiance that made Jake's chest tighten inexplicably. You didn't have to do that," Alex whispered, his voice carrying a faint Texas twang softened by city polish. "I can handle myself." Jake snorted, tipping back his hat. "Looks like it. Come on." My truck's round the corner. Can't have you keeling over from heat stroke. He didn't wait for protest, just slung an arm around Alex's shoulders. Brotherly, he told himself, and steered him toward the battered Ford pickup parked under the awning of Harlan Hardware. The touch lingered a beat too long, sending a jolt through Jake that he shoved down hard. As they peeled out of town, gravel spitting under the tires, Alex slumped against the passenger door, exhaustion etching lines around his mouth. Name's Alex. Thanks again. I owe you. Jake Harlan. He replied, eyes fixed on the endless ribbon of highway flanked by mesquite and barbed wire. And you don't owe me nothing. Just, what the hell do you do to piss off my uncle's boys? Alex's laugh was bitter, short. Exist, mostly. I'm gay. Word got around faster than a grass fire. The admission hung between them, bold as a brand. Jake gripped the wheel tighter, knuckles whitening. Gay. The word echoed the slurs he'd overheard, the sermons that branded it sin. But hearing it from Alex's lips, it didn't sound like a curse. It sounded like a quiet truth, heavy with the weight of hiding. The ranch sprawled like a faded dream under the horizon, weathered barns, corrals etched with hoofprints, the main house squatting sturdy amid cottonwoods. Jake pulled up to the bunkhouse, a low-slung affair he'd claimed after his folks passed. Crash here tonight. We'll sort the rest tomorrow. Inside, the air was cool, scented with leather and sage. Alex sank onto the cot, rubbing his temples. You're risking a lot. What? Jake busied himself with coffee, black as midnight. Family's complicated round here. Uncle Elias raised me after Dad. Well, let's just say I know what it's like to need a shield. He handed over a mug, their fingers brushing. That spark again, unbidden. Jake pulled back, cursing inwardly. Get a grip. He's a stranger. A man. As night fell, stars pricking the velvet sky, they talked haltingly. Alex about Austin's glittering underbelly, the betrayal of a lover who outed him for sport. Jake about the ranch's slow bleed, debts piling like storm clouds. Laughter crept in, tentative, then fuller, easing the knots in their chests. But outside, unseen, the deputy's report burned a line straight to the sheriff's desk. Elias Harlan leaned back in his creaky chair, the star on his chest catching lamplight like a warning. The office smelled of stale smoke and justice overdue. Jake did what? He boomed, face reddening under his white mustache. Shielded the queer, sir, Burke reported, shifting uncomfortably. Took him to the ranch. Elias's fist slammed the desk, rattling the coffee mug. Jake, his brother's boy, the last Harlan blood worth a damn. Mixed up in this? The town was a powder keg, one spark from the outside, and it'd blow. But beneath the rage simmered something else, a father's buried ache, a secret he'd locked away decades ago when his own boy, Tommy, came home from college with a boyfriend's hand in his. Tommy. Elias's throat tightened. The boy had vanished 5 years back, chasing dreams in Dallas, leaving only postcards and silence. Rumors said he'd gone full city folk, embracing that lifestyle. Elias had prayed it away, but prayer was a thin shield against truth. Get me Jake on the line, he growled. But as the phone rang unanswered, a wild notion took root. If Jake was protecting strays, maybe. No. Foolishness. Yet the seed planted. Jake, strong as oak, could be the anchor Tommy needed if the boy ever came back. Dawn broke gold over the ranch, painting the hills in fire. Jake stirred eggs in the skillet, the sizzle a counterpoint to Alex's soft snores from the next room. Last night had cracked something open in him, a window to possibilities he'd boarded shut. Alex's stories, his easy grin, stirred echoes of Jake's own unspoken longings. But longing was dangerous in Dust Haven, where men like them ended up broken or buried. Alex wandered in, hair sleep-tousled, eyes brighter. Smells like heaven. You cook too? A girl's dream. Jake chuckled, plating the food. Or a guy's, if you're lucky. The words slipped out, laced with unintended heat. Alex paused, fork midway, a question flickering in his gaze. The air thickened, charged like before a twister. Before it could build, tires crunched on gravel. Jake peered out. Elias's cruiser, lights off but presence heavy. Shit. Stay put. The sheriff lumbered up the steps, hat in hand, his bulk filling the doorway. Nephew, we need to talk. His eyes flicked past Jake, landing on Alex with a sharpness that could flay hide. And about your guest. Jake squared his shoulders, the protector instinct flaring anew. Uncle, he's no threat, just passing through. Elias's laugh was gravelly, devoid of mirth. Passing through trouble, more like. Town's buzzing. Folks say you're harboring a deviant. The word slashed, but Elias's tone held an undercurrent. Less accusation, more weariness. Alex stepped forward, chin lifted. Deviant? That's rich, coming from a man wearing a badge that should protect, not persecute. Elias's eyes narrowed, then softened fractionally. Something in Alex's fire, his unbowed stance, tugged at buried strings. Boy, you got spine. I'll give you that. He turned to Jake, voice dropping. This ain't just about him. It's about you, Jake. Dusthaven's changing. Hell, the world's changing, but not without a fight. You step in like this, you're painting a target on your back. Jake met his gaze, unflinching. Then let him shoot. I won't stand by while. While what? Elias interrupted, a ghost of a smile cracking his facade. While love does what it will. Save that fire for someone who needs it. He paused, the air humming with unspoken weight. Then, in a voice rough as sandpaper, you know Tommy's coming back. Week from now. Cities chewed him up, spit him out. And if there's one Harlan left with a heart big enough, well, maybe you're the future son-in-law this family needs. The words detonated like dynamite in a mineshaft. Jake reeled, the skillet forgotten on the stove. Tommy, Elias's son, his cousin, once like a brother, the golden boy who'd fled with secrets in his eyes? Gay, the whispers had said, before silence swallowed them. And now, this, a twisted blessing, a proposition wrapped in gravel and grief. Alex's face paled, understanding dawning. He was the stranger, the catalyst, but Tommy loomed now, a shadow from Jake's past, stirring memories of boyhood wrestles and shared glances that lingered too long. Jake had buried those feelings under layers of denial, but they clawed free now, raw and insistent. Elias clapped Jake's shoulder, grip firm. Think on it, but get that boy out of sight till I smooth the feathers. He nodded to Alex, almost kindly. And you, keep your head down. Dusthaven eats its own. As the cruiser faded down the drive, Jake turned to Alex, the kitchen suddenly too small. Tommy, he echoed, voice hollow. We were close, once. Before he left. Alex nodded, empathy softening his features. Sounds like unfinished business. And now, with me here. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. No. Jake cut in, sharper than intended. You didn't start this. It's been brewing. He raked a hand through his hair, turmoil churning. Attraction to Alex was a live wire, sparking forbidden. Thoughts of Tommy were a deeper quake, roots tangled in blood and time. How could he navigate this minefield without losing himself? The days blurred into a tense rhythm. Jake kept Alex hidden in the bunkhouse, smuggling meals and news under the guise of ranch chores. Whispers from town slithered in via the feed truck radio. Deputies patrolling harder, church ladies clutching pearls over moral decay. Jake's hands shook as he mucked stalls, mind replaying Elias's words. Future son-in-law. To Tommy. The idea repelled and magnetized in equal measure. A chance at legitimacy in a town that would crucify otherwise, but built on a lie if his heart pulled elsewhere. Alex sensed the storm, his own demons gnawing. Nights, they'd sit on the porch, beers sweating in the heat, sharing fragments. Alex confessed the lover's betrayal, a charming artist who'd weaponized their intimacy, outing him to gain custody in a bitter friend circle war. I ran because staying meant dying inside, he said, stars reflecting in his eyes. But here, with you, feels like breathing for the first time. Jake's throat closed. Dusthaven ain't kind to breathers like us. Us. The word escaped, binding them in vulnerability. Their hands brushed once, twice. Accidental, then not. Jake pulled away each time, guilt of ice. Tommy's return loomed like a verdict. Then, the first twist, a letter arrived, postmarked Dallas. Jake's name on the envelope, Tommy's scrawl. Heart pounding, he tore it open alone. Jake, Uncle says you're playing hero. Always were. Coming home. Need to see you. Secrets to share. The kind that change everything. The words blurred. Secrets. Jake burned the paper in the stove, ashes scattering like his resolve. That night, sleep evaded him. Alex found him at dawn, pacing the corral, moon-silvered. "Talk to me," Alex urged, leaning on the fence, his presence a bomb and ablaze. "It's Tommy," Jake admitted, voice cracking. He knows things. About me. From before." The confession spilled. Teenage summers, a stolen kiss behind the barn during a thunderstorm, chalked up to youthful folly. Tommy had pulled away after, fled to college, leaving Jake adrift in shame. Alex's eyes darkened with understanding, not jealousy, but pain. "So I'm the rebound? The placeholder till the prodigal returns?" "No," Jake exploded, closing the distance. "You're real. Here. But Tommy, he's family. Blood. And Uncle's pushing this like it's salvation." Alex laughed hollow. "Salvation? In this town? That's a joke wrapped in barbed wire." He turned away, shoulders rigid. "I should go? Before I complicate the fairy tale." "Don't," Jake pleaded, hand on his arm. The touch ignited, electric, inevitable. For a heartbeat, the world narrowed to that point of contact, emotions crashing like waves. Fear, desire, the terror of choosing. But hooves thundered in the distance, riders, 3 strong, cutting across the pasture like wolves on the hunt. Jake's blood iced. "Hide. Now." Alex vanished into the shadows as the riders reined up. Burke, Ellis, and a third, Granger, the ranch foreman with a grudge as old as bad blood between families. "Heard you got company, Harlan," Granger drawled, rifle slung casual across his saddle. "Town wants answers. That queer's stirring trouble." Jake's pulse hammered. "My business. Get off my land." Burke dismounted, swaggering close. "Sheriff's business now. Hand him over, or we search." The standoff stretched, taut as a bowstring. Jake's mind raced. Fight, flee, fold? Then, from the bunkhouse, a creak. Alex, emerging bold, hands raised. "I'm here. No trouble. Just leaving." Granger's laugh was ugly. "See? Easy." But as they closed in, Alex stumbled, deliberate, tripping Burke into the dirt. Chaos erupted. Shouts, scuffles, Jake diving into the fray to shield Alex from fists and boots. A shot cracked, warning, into the air, from Granger's rifle. "Enough." The word boomed from the driveway. "Elias, cruiser askew, badge flashing. Stand down, all of ya." The riders froze, faces ashen. Elias's glare could curdle milk. "This is Harlan land. My kin. You forget that." He hauled Burke up, dusting him off with disdain. "Report," said disturbance. "Looks like you boys are the disturbance." Granger muttered excuses, but Elias cut him off. "Go, and tell the busybodies to mind their pews." As they rode off, tails tucked, Elias turned to Alex, appraising. "You fight dirty, son. Reminds me of someone." Alex wiped blood from his lip, meeting the gaze steady. "Survival, sheriff. Not sport." Elias nodded, a rare respect flickering. Then, to Jake, Tommy called. "Train tomorrow. Be there." He paused, eyes on the 2 men, bruised and unbowed. And Jake? Blood's thicker than dust. But heart? That's the real law. As Elias drove away, Jake helped Alex inside, tending wounds with iodine and quiet apologies. The silence between them hummed, laden. "You didn't have to jump in," Jake murmured, dabbing a cut. Alex caught his hand, holding it. "Yeah, I did. Because shielding goes both ways." Their eyes locked, the air electric with unspoken profession. In that moment, amid the sting of antiseptic and the echo of gunfire, Jake felt the walls crumble, not in ruin, but revelation. The train whistle pierced the afternoon haze like a siren's wail, pulling into Dust Haven's weathered depot on rails that hadn't seen glory since the war. Jake stood on the platform, boots scuffed, hat low, the weight of Elias's cruiser idling nearby pressing on him like an anvil. Tommy's return wasn't just a homecoming. It was a reckoning, threads of past and present tangling into a noose of expectations. Passengers spilled out, city folk in pressed slacks, locals with battered suitcases. But Jake's eyes snagged on one figure. Tall, lean, with Tommy's familiar mop of blonde curls now streaked gray at the temples, a duffel slung over one shoulder. 5 years hadn't erased the boy Jake remembered, but sharpened him. Lines etched by city battles, eyes shadowed with the same quiet storm that had always drawn Jake in. "Jake," Tommy said, voice warm but edged, pulling him into a hug that lingered, bones and memory fitting too perfectly. God, it's good to be back. Even if Uncle's riding shotgun. Jake clapped his back, inhaling the scent of cologne and train smoke. Foreign, intoxicating. Yeah, he insisted. Said the vultures needed scaring off. He pulled away, gesturing to the truck. Let's get you home. The drive wound through scrubland, silence companionable at first, then thickening with the unsaid. Tommy gazed out, fingers drumming the door. Heard about your heroics. Saving that guy from the deputies. Town talks wild. Jake's grip tightened on the wheel. Alex, left at the ranch under pretense of chores, but really to dodge this collision. Just doing right. Alex ain't what they say. Tommy turned, a sly smile curving his lips. Alex, huh? Sounds personal. His tone teased, but eyes probed deeper, unearthing the boyhood secrets they'd both pretended forgotten. The main house welcomed Tommy like a prodigal, Elias enveloping him in a bare hug, Aunt Clara, Elias's wife, frail but fierce, tearing up over coffee and pie. Dinner was a ritual of catch-up, laughter masking the fractures. But as plates cleared, Elias cleared his throat, the room stilling. Tommy, we got plans. Ranch needs steady hands. Jake here's been holding it alone too long. His gaze slid to Jake, waited. And families stick, right? Build legacies. Tommy's fork paused. Clara busied with dishes, but her glance lingered hopeful. Jake felt the trap spring, Elias's vision of unity, a Harlan dynasty sealed in matrimony, ignoring the truths that bent it crooked. Later, under the cottonwoods, Tommy lit a cigarette, offering one to Jake. They smoked in silence, fireflies winking like conspirators. Uncle's got ideas, Tommy said finally, exhaling smoke skyward. About us. Future son-in-law bullshit. Jake's stomach nodded. He told you. Tommy laughed, soft. Implied heavy. But Jake, that kiss back then, it wasn't just storm-fueled stupidity. I ran because I couldn't face it. You, me, this town. He turned, face earnest in moonlight. I'm gay, Jake. Have been. Dallas confirmed it. And you. I always wondered. The admission hung, a bridge or a bomb. Jake's heart thundered, memories flooding. Tommy's laugh in the hayloft, the brush of hands during branding. Desire, long denied, surged, fierce, confusing. But Alex's face flashed, his touch a recent anchor. I don't know what I am, Tom. But shielding Alex? That felt right. More than right. Tommy's eyes dimmed, hurt flickering. So he's the one. Fresh start while on the ghost. No. Jake protested, stamping out his smoke. Your family. Always. But this, us, can't be forced. Not for Uncle's legacy. Tommy nodded, jaw tight. Fair. But Dusthaven? It forces everything. He stood, clapping Jake's shoulder. Let's just be kin first. See what shakes out. Back at the bunkhouse, Alex waited, pacing like a caged panther. How'd it go? The prodigal's warm welcome. Jake sank onto the cot, head in hands. Complicated. Tommy's out. And Uncle's playing matchmaker. Alex froze, processing. Matchmaker? With you? Laughter bubbled, edged with pain. Of course. The perfect cover. Two Harlans, tying the knot to keep the town happy. It's not like that. Jake snapped, then softened. Not entirely. Tommy and I, there's history. Alex's face shuddered, walls rising swift. History. Great. And I'm the detour. He grabbed his pack, stuffing clothes with jerky motions. I won't be the side story in your redemption arc, Jake. I've had enough of that. Stop. Jake surged up, blocking the door. You're not. Damn it. Alex, that night on the porch, holding your hand, that was me choosing for once. He stepped closer, voice raw. But Tommy's blood. And Uncle. He's losing the ranch, the town. This feels like his Hail Mary. Alex's pack dropped, eyes blazing. And you? What's your play? Hero to strays, or heir to the throne? The question gutted him. Jake reached out, cupping Alex's face, rough thumbs on smooth skin. I want you. Here. Now. The kiss came fierce, born of desperation, lips crashing, hands fisting shirts, a dam breaking in the dim lamplight. It was fire and fear, taste of salt and sage, emotions pouring unchecked, love's first clumsy declaration amid the chaos. They broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed. But Tommy, Alex whispered. Later, Jake vowed. We'll face it square. Dawn brought no ease. Word spread. Tommy Harlan back. The ranch saved by family bonds. But undercurrents stirred. Granger's crew lurking at saloons. Deputies eyeing the bunkhouse. Elias summoned Jake to the office. Maps of debt strewn like battlefield casualties. Sign this, Elias urged, sliding papers. Partnership agreement, ranch in Jake's name, with Tommy as co-signer. Secure it. For all of us. Jake hesitated, pen hovering. Loyalty warred with truth. Uncle, Tommy and me. It's not what you think. Elias's face hardened, then cracked. I know, boy. About him. Always did. The confession tumbled. Elias's own youth. A forbidden fling with a rodeo hand. Buried under duty and denial. I pushed you two thinking. Maybe redemption. For him. For me. Jake reeled. The sheriff, paragon of Dust Haven's morals, harbored shadows? Why tell me now? Because that Alex kid? He's fire. Reminds me of what I lost. Elias's voice broke. Don't repeat my mistakes. Love who you love. But save the ranch first. The plea hung, twisting Jake's resolve. He signed, ink drying like a sentence. But as he left, a shadow detached from the alley. Granger, smirk oily. Papers, huh? Too bad secrets don't sign so easy. Trouble brewed fast. That evening, as Jake and Alex shared a stolen moment in the barn, fingers laced, whispers of futures, hooves thundered again. This time, a posse, Granger leading, Burke and Ellis flanking, torches flickering menace. Fire! The cry split the night. Flames licked the hayloft, smoke billowing black. Jake bolted, Alex at his heels, coughing through the inferno. Tommy! Jake roared, pounding toward the main house. Chaos reigned, Clara screaming, Elias barking orders, water buckets sloshing futile. Tommy emerged, soot-streaked, wrestling a hose. Arson, he spat. Granger's grudge, over Dad's water rights, years back. Deputies arrived late, investigating, with half-hearted zeal. Elias's face thundered. This ends now. But Jake saw the fracture. Town divided, loyalties splitting like dry timber. In the aftermath, ash sifting under floodlights, Alex pulled Jake aside. They're coming for us. The fire's a message, for harboring me, for Tommy's return. Jake nodded, grim. Then we fight smart. Together. But doubt seeded. Tommy's gaze lingered too long that night, over coffee laced with adrenaline. A brush of hands, accidental, or not. Jake's heart fractured, pulled between two men, two lives, in a town bent on breaking them. Embers smoldered in the dawn light, the ranch a scarred battlefield of charred beams and defiant will. Jake hadn't slept, replaying the fire's roar, the way Alex's hand had anchored him amid panic. Now, as crews hammered repairs, he watched Tommy direct the hands, confident, changed, yet echoing the boy who'd once been his world. The triangle tightened, invisible wires humming tension. Elias called a town hall that noon, the VFW hall packed with Dust Haven's finest, oilmen in Stetsons, housewives fanning gossip, Granger lurking rearward with crossed arms. The sheriff mounted the stage, voice booming. Last night, evil tried our door. Arson on Harlan land, my land. We won't bend to cowards hiding in shadows. Murmurs swelled, sympathy laced with suspicion. What about that drifter? A voice piped from the crowd. The one Jake's sweet on? Bringing curses. Alex, slipped in back under Jake's hat brim loan, stiffened. Jake's fist clenched. He'd begged him stay hidden, but Alex's fire wouldn't cower. Elias's gavel cracked. Enough. Dust Haven's built on hard work, not hate. That boy's under protection. Like family. His eyes found Jake's, a nod of solidarity. But the seed of doubt flowered. Whispers of Elias going soft. Badge bought by blood ties to sodomites. After, in the truck, Tommy confronted. Uncle's risking everything. For you. For Alex. His tone held accusation, jealousy sharp. Or is it both? Jake sighed, navigating potholes. It's for the ranch. For us, all of us. But the lie tasted bitter. His heart divided. Alex's raw passion, a flame igniting now. Tommy's steady pull, roots deep in shared soil. At the ranch, Alex waited, maps unrolled, insurance claims, suspect lists. Granger's the key, he said, pointing. Old feud. Your dad outbid him on grazing rights. He's leveraged. Owes bookies in Lubbock. Jake leaned in, shoulder brushing Alex's, spark familiar. How'd you dig this? City habits die hard. Hacked the library database last night. Alex grinned, boyish. We're smarter than they think. They're planning wove intimacy. Ideas bouncing, laughs easing strain. Tommy joined later, adding ranch lore, hidden trails for stakeouts. The trio gelled uneasily, a fragile alliance. But glances lingered. Jake's on both. Tommy's on Jake. Alex is watchful. That night, storm clouds gathered, thunder rumbling promise. Jake found Alex on the porch, rain pattering tentative. Can't sleep? Alex shook his head, thinking about running again. But you make staying worth the blaze. Jake sat close, rain scent mingling with Alex's. No running. Not anymore. His hand found Alex's, lacing fingers. The kiss followed slow, deliberate, exploring depths of emotion, not just desire. Whispers of dreams, leaving Dust Haven, a life unyoked. For the first time, hope flickered, fragile as moth wings. But lightning cracked, illuminating a figure at the corral's edge, Tommy, witnessing, face unreadable before vanishing into shadow. Morning brought fallout. Tommy cornered Jake at breakfast, eyes stormy. Saw you last night. With him. Hurt laced the words, raw? I thought. After the letter, us. Jake's coffee soured. Tom, that kiss years ago, it meant something. But Alex, he's now. Real. Tommy's laugh stung. Real? Or easy? I'm the complication, the cousin, the family secret. He paced, agitation coiling. Dad's pushing us because he sees it too. You and me, the perfect fix. Gay but blood. Acceptable sin. The logic twisted Jake's gut. It's not about fixing. It's about choosing. Choose then, Tommy challenged, voice breaking. Me, or the stranger who'll bolt when heat rises. The ultimatum landed heavy. Jake walked out, mind reeling, straight into Elias's path. Town meeting tonight, the sheriff said. Granger's rallying votes, against me. Says I'm soft on vice. Jake's blood boiled. Because of us. Elias nodded grim. And Tommy's return. They smell weakness. He gripped Jake's arm. Stand with me. Show him Harlan's don't break. The hall brimmed that evening, air thick with sweat and suspicion. Granger spoke first, venom smooth. Sheriff Harlan's lost his way, harboring perverts, letting fires rage unchecked. Time for real law. Cheers erupted, fists pumping. Jake's stomach churned. Faces he'd known lifelong now feral. Alex, beside him incognito, squeezed his hand, silent vow. Elias rose, thunderous. Real law? Like torching homes? Like chasing boys for who they love. Gasps rippled. My son's home. Gay as the day is long. And Jake, my blood, he's got heart enough for any soul. Dust Haven's dying because of hate, not love. Pandemonium, shouts, chair scraping. Granger lunged on stage, but Jake vaulted forward, tackling him mid-stride. Fists flew, Jake's haymaker connecting, Granger's goon piling on. Alex joined the melee, pulling a thug off Tommy, who fought fierce beside Elias. Deputies, loyal ones, intervened, hauling agitators. But as dust settled, a revelation. Burke, cuffing Granger, muttered. He paid me to look away from the fire. Betrayal confirmed. Elias's arrest of his own deputy shattered the room. Cheers from half, boos from other. Jake, bruised, locked eyes with Tommy across the chaos. Apology there, and acceptance. Later, under stars, the four, Elias, Clara, Tommy, Jake, sat porchside. Alex included tentative. You spoke truth, Jake said to Elias. Cost you. Worth it, Elias rumbled. Family's more than blood now. His glance at Alex warmed. Welcome, son. But peace fractured swift. A call shattered midnight. Tommy's phone, Dallas number. Boss? It's Riley. Your ex says he's coming. With proof. About all of us. Tommy paled. Riley, the lover who'd shattered him. Charming viper. Proof? Of what? Everything. Letters, photos. He's selling to the press. Dust Haven's front page scandal. Panic surged. Riley's grudge. Tommy leaving him for sobriety, for home. Now, revenge, a dossier to torch reputations. Jake's mind raced. We meet him. Neutral ground. Tommy nodded, grim. Highway diner, dawn. Alex volunteered scout, but Jake pulled him close. Too dangerous. Stay. No, Alex insisted. We're in this. The kiss sealed it, fierce, affirming. Dawn at the diner. Neon flickering, coffee bitter. Riley arrived sleek, suit sharp, smirk sharper. Envelope in hand. Tommy. Jake. Heard the homecoming's cozy. Cut the crap, Tommy snapped. What do you want? Money. Silence. Riley slid photos. Jake and Alex kissing, Tommy's old love letters. Or this hits every rag from here to Houston. Harlan Dynasty's dirty secrets. Jake's rage boiled. Blackmail? You're scum. Riley laughed. And you're fools. Thinking small-town love survives spotlight. Alex, hidden in booth rear, tensed, then acted. He surged, snatching the envelope, bolting for the truck. Go. Chase ensued. Riley's sedan roaring, Dust Haven blurring. Jake drove wild. Tommy reloading a flare gun from glove box. Shoot the tires. Alex yelled. Flare arced, sizzling rubber, spin out, crash into ditch. Safe. They panted, envelope ashes in ashtray. But Riley crawled free. Phone out. Already sent copies? Dread knifed. Back home, Elias fumed. Press'll come. We brace. The twist deepened. Clara confessed, tearful. I knew about Riley. Tommy wrote me. Begged silence. Tommy reeled. Mom? Want? Protect you. From this. She gestured wide. The ranch, town, fragile peace. Forgiveness wove slow, but bonds tightened. Jake, holding Alex through night fears, whispered, We're stronger. Yet dawn brought reporters. Cameras flashing, questions barbed. Sheriff, comment on the gay affair? Elias faced them, unbowed. Love's no affair. It's life. Scandal crested, but so did support. Neighbors trickling aid, church splintering, some picketing, others baking pies. In the eye, Jake chose, pulling Tommy aside. Your brother, not lover. Alex's. Mine. Tommy's relief flooded. Knew it. Just needed hearing. Hug brotherly, healing. But Granger escaped custody, rumor mill churning. Revenge plot, targeting Alex alone. The scandal's aftershocks rippled through Dust Haven like seismic waves, cracking facades long polished. Reporters camped the diner's lot, their vans a circus of antennas and ambition, while picket lines formed, rainbow flags clashing with crosses at the town square. Jake navigated it all with jaw set, ferrying supplies to the ranch under cover of dusk, Alex at his side like a shadow-turned-partner. Elias's re-election loomed weeks away, polls swaying wild. They're painting me devil, he grumbled over strategy sessions, maps pinned with ally names. But truth's my ballot. Tommy dove in, rallying youth, kids from the community center, out and proud in whispers. Dad, we got your back, he said, fist bump solid. The father-son thaw deepened, Elias sharing war stories, vulnerabilities peeled like onion skins. For Jake and Alex, intimacy bloomed quiet. Mornings mending fences, hands brushing earth, evenings under quilts sharing fears. What if we lose it all? Alex murmured once, head on Jake's chest. Then we build new, Jake replied, kissing his temple. You, me, that's the legacy. But peace was illusion. Granger's escape ignited paranoia, fences cut, cattle spooked, anonymous calls hissing threats. One less queer. The last breathed, before dead air. Jake insisted Alex carry the old revolver. Just in case. Alex nodded, but eyes shadowed. This town's poison. We should leave. Not yet, Jake urged. Uncle needs us. Tommy too. The pull tore at him. Loyalty a chain, love a compass pointing out. Climax brewed at the county fair, Dust Haven's heartbeat. Rides whirring, cotton candy veiling venom. Elias campaigned the midway, shaking hands, Tommy charming crowds. Jake and Alex volunteered booths, apple bobbing for unity, prizes rainbow-wrapped. Laughter flowed tentative, but eyes watched, Granger's allies, lurking like coyotes. As dusk fell, fireworks prelude, Alex vanished, fetching ice, heat said. Minutes stretched. Jake's gut twisted. Tom, cover me. He plunged into throng, heart slamming. Found him in the shadowed lot. Alex cornered by Granger and two shadows, knife glinting. Thought you'd run, boy. But Harlan's drag you down. Alex backed against a truck, defiance fierce. Touch me, and Jake lend you. Granger lunged, but Jake exploded from dark, tackling him earthward. Fists rained. Jake's rage unleashed, knuckles splitting on jaw. The goons piled, boots thudding ribs, but Alex grabbed a tire iron, swinging wild. Crack on knee, then skull. Sirens wailed. Elias's backup, deputies true. Cuffs clicked. Granger hauled spitting curses. You'll burn for this, Harlan. All of you. Medics swarmed, Jake waving them off, Bruce's badge of battle. Alex, trembling, collapsed into him. I thought. End. Never, Jake vowed, holding tight as stars wheeled overhead. Hospital wait stitched wounds deeper. Clara fretting, Tommy pacing, Elias on phone quelling press. Hero's tale now, he said. Granger's done, confessed to fire, bribes. Relief washed, but Alex's eyes held fracture. Saw my life flash. Austin all over, betrayal, flight. Jake knelt by bed. No more running. Marry me. Here, now vows under Texas sky. Alex's laugh choked. Crazy cowboy. Yes. But twist lurked. In Granger's cell, a visitor log. Riley's name, stamped recent. The X slithering back. Confirmation came dawn. Another envelope, slipped under bunkhouse door. Photos, not old, new. Tommy embracing a mystery man at the fair, intimate. Tommy denied, face ashen. Riley's work. Deepfake shit. AI from my old pics. Elias roared. That bastard. Coming for blood. They traced. Riley holed in a Lubbock motel, vendetta festering. End this, Tommy begged. Confront. Road trip forged them. Jake driving, Alex shotgun, Tommy rear, brothers in arms. Motel neon buzzed sleazy, Riley answering door cocky. Boys. Fan club. Game over. Jake growled, shoving inside. Laptop open, files damning. Riley smirked. Delete? For what? Love. For peace, Alex said, voice steel. Or jail. Bluff cracked Riley. Tears, then truth. Hired by Granger for dirt, payment in cash and spite. Tommy broke me. Fair's fair. Tommy's pity softened. We both broke. Let go. Files wiped, drive smashed. Riley signed affidavit, slinking into night, broken, but free. Return triumphant, but homecoming soured. Town council vote. Elias ousted. Morals clause cited. Defeat stung, badge surrendered in dim office. Elias's shoulders slumped. Lost it all. No, Jake countered. Gained family. He proposed alliance. Co-op ranch, community buy-in, diverse, open. Seeds planted, hope tentative. But Alex's ring, simple band, exchanged in corral at sunset, anchored. To us, Jake toasted, Tommy and Clara witnessing. Yet undercurrent, a letter, anonymous. Harlan's secrets run deep. Watch the grave. Grave? Jake's blood chilled, Dad's plot, edge of town. The anonymous letter burned a hole in Jake's pocket, its scrawl a venomous whisper amid the ranch's tentative rebuild. Elias pored over it by lamplight, mustache twitching. Graveyard. Your pa's stone. Dig. Jake's stomach roiled. Dad. Gone 8 years. Cancer's thief. Buried secrets with him? Why now? Tommy paced. Riley? Granger's ghost? Someone tying loose ends. Alex, ever practical, grabbed shovels. We check. In the shadows. Moonlit cemetery crouched on hill's skirt. Headstones, silvered ghosts. Harlan plot. Weathered marble. Dad's name etched stark. They dug furtive. Earth grudging. Blisters rising. Until spade clanged metal. Casket. No. A box. Rusted. Pried open. Letters. Yellowed. A journal. Photos faded. Jake's hands shook, unfolding. Dad's words. To my boys, Elias, if you're reading, forgive. Loved a man once, rodeo days. He left, took my heart. Buried it here, so town wouldn't know. Jake, son, love fierce, hide nothing. You're stronger. Tears blurred ink. Elias sank to knees, sobbing silent. Brother, knew my pain. Tommy clutched photos. Dad young, arm, round a stranger, smiles unguarded. Legacy of us. All along. Alex wrapped Jake, warmth against chill. Your blood's brave. Like you. Dawn found them raw, truths exhumed. Elias burned select pages, some shadows stay buried. but kept journal, Bible new. Town shifted slow. Elias's ouster birthed reform. Interim sheriff, progressive, vowing inclusion. Co-op meetings swelled. Ranchers, LGBTQ allies from Austin, weaving net safety. But conflict crested personal. Tommy, buoyed by closure, confessed over beers, seeing you and Alex. Hurts less now, but I want that. Love real. Jake nodded. Deserve it. Who's the mystery from photos? Tommy flushed. Fair hug. Old friend, Dallas. Sparks, maybe. Encouragement flowed, brotherly. But Alex pulled Jake aside later, doubt gnawing. Tommy's eyes on you still? No. Jake soothed, kissed gentle. On future. Ours separate. Misunderstanding festered subtle. Clara, overhearing, fretted. Tommy pines. Don't break him. Words twisted, relayed mangled. Alex hearing, Jake's torn, fueling insecurity. Distance crept. Alex withdrawing, packing just in case. Jake confronted, hurt sharp. Running? After vows. Alex's voice cracked. Heard Clara. You're conflicted, family first. Lies, Jake thundered. Tommy's kin. Your heart. Storm raged outside, mirroring inside. Yells echoing, then silence heavy. Tommy intervened, clearing air. Mom's worry, not truth. I'm happy for you. Hug triple, mending. Climax detonated festival night. County hoedown, unity bash. Banners rainbow streaked, fiddles wailing. Elias emceed, voice booming pride. But sabotage, sound system hacked, slurs blaring. Granger's recorded venom, looped. Panic surged, fight sparking. Jake vaulted stage, yanking plugs. Enough. Microphone live, he poured. This town's scars run deep. Mine, Dad's, all ours. But hate? It buries us alive. Love? Raises stronger. Alex joined, hand in Jake's. I'm gay. Proud. And Harlan by choice. Tommy flanked. Me too. Family redefined. Elias stepped up, journal raised. My brother's words. Love fierce. We choose that. Crowd hushed, then erupted, applause drowning boos. Fights quelled, unity flickering alive. But Granger, paroled early, vengeful, lurked periphery, gun drawn. Shot cracked, wild, toward stage. Chaos, screams, dives. Bullet grazed Tommy's arm, blood blooming. Jake tackled Granger, wrestling firearm free. Alex subdued with belt, trussed like calf. Medics swarmed, Tommy pale but grinning. Missed the heart. Story for grandkids. Elias cuffed Granger personal, deputies late again. This time no bail. Press devoured, Harlan heroes foil hate. Support flooded, donations, allies. In hospital vigil, Jake proposed formal, knee bent, ring gleaming. Alex Rivera, be my forever? Tears, yes, kiss ceiling amid beeps and blooms. Yet twist lingered, anonymous sender? Journal's last page, revealed, mom's handwriting. Knew your pain, brother. Guarded for Jake. Closure full circle. Healing wove through Dust Haven's fabric, threads of resilience stitching wounds. Tommy's arm slung, but spirit unbroken. He courted his Dallas spark, visits blooming to promises. Elias, badgeless but honored, consulted security, voiced gravelly wisdom at co-op boards. Clara baked for all, pies peace offerings. Jake and Alex's wedding brewed simple. Corral altar, sunset vows. Guests mingled, town holdouts, Austin kin, even deputies reformed. Elias officiated, eyes misty. By love's law, I pronounce husbands. Kiss your man. Cheers thundered, hoots and hollers under stars. Dance followed. Boots stomping, Alex twirling Jake clumsy graceful. Forever shielded, Alex whispered. Honeymoon. Ranch staycation, cabins rebuilt, nights firelit tales. But life pulled, co-op thrived, diverse hands working land anew. Jake trained youth, cowboy skills laced empathy lessons. Challenges lingered, slurs faded but echoed, prejudices pockets. One night, bar brawl, old-timers slinging abominations. Jake stepped in, not fists, words, love's the real grit. Try it. Conversion slow, but seeds. Twist final, Riley returned, not venom, but amends. Sober, contrite, envelope restitution, funds for co-op, saw your stand. Inspired. Tommy forgave, bridge built cautious. Years blurred. Ranch expanded, solar panels on barns, green legacy. Jake and Alex adopted. 2 boys, orphaned by storms, teaching ride and read. Elias, aged graceful, grandkids on knees spinning yarns. Tommy wed his spark, dual ceremonies, brothers toasting under same moon. Dust Haven evolved. Pride flags on Maine, statues to unsung. Dad's a mom, plaque, loved fierce. One eve, Jake and Alex porch sat, rockers creaking, sunset gilding hills. Remember that day? Jake mused. Shielding you from deputies? Alex leaned, head on shoulder. Changed everything. You saved me. We saved each other. Kiss soft, enduring. Thunder rumbled distant. Not threat, promise. In Dust Haven's heart, love's law reigned. Unyielding, unbreakable. Epilogue whisper, anonymous letters? Burned ritual, ashes to wind. Secrets freed, stories soared.